Des Moines and all of Central Iowa, welcome to Mac's World Live. Mac's World is your world. Every day we talk about the always voice we want to hear in Mac's World. So join the conversation by calling 515-244-0077. And now, here's the host of Mac's World Live, J. Michael Mckoy.
Good afternoon, 7 minutes after 4 o'clock on the 19th day of August in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McKoy, and this is the 4 o'clock edition of Mac's World Live. Supposed to be record-breaking cool tomorrow. Good. They said on the TV this morning that we would have a high of 71 tomorrow, and that is it. And we're at, I think, 94 today.
The sky's falling.
No, I don't think so, but must be a cold front or something coming in.
I don't know, but I'm glad because I put off mowing my lawn till tomorrow. It's going to be wonderful.
Yes, it will be. Have you been to the fair yet?
No.
Are you going?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I want to introduce you to our special guest. She is Anna Bergman, and she is from Bergman Riding, and you teach people how to ride, and you ride professionally.
Yes, I do.
Tell me what that means. So you're a professional equestrian.
Yes. So I grew up showing as an amateur. Then when I, kind of retired all of my show horses, I thought, well, this is silly. They can have a new purpose in life. And, so I just knew that they could find, we could find something else for them to do. So I started Bergman Riding with my retired show horses. And then, became a professional and started teaching.
Okay. So you don't ride anymore at all? Professionally.
I do. I have one horse of my own who's quite the handful. So okay. I'm the only rider for her. So
all right. And when you say ride, I don't know anything about this, but I see it on TV where you jump this and go around the barrel here, and then you have to jump that. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
So we do jumping. So a lot of our horses are the jumpers. At 2 to 3 feet, high. And then what I do with my horse is more of the show horse. So they are kind of the prancing and, around that, like at the fair, they'd be in that huge Jacobson arena.
Yeah.
Dressage. You do your dressage?
We do.
And you jump the warm bloods?
Yes.
See, that's horse talk.
Yes.
I was going to say, now I got two horse people in here, and I'm not going to understand anything. What did you say? The dressage?
Dressage. Those are the fancy foot stuff that the horses do.
Dun, 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 like on their tippy toes?
Yeah.
Okay. I just know I like horses, but I don't have any idea. And if you're watching on webcast, there's a picture. Is that you, Anna, on that horse?
Oh, so that's the retired show horse I was talking about, and that's one of my students.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeb is trying to find some stuff on your Facebook that we can show every once in a while. All right. So
Anna, you were just down at the fair then. That picture looks like that was at the fair one time.
Yes, that was at the fair, and they have all year round they have different shows, and that show they had particular to that breed of horse. And we have 4 or 5. They're called American Saddlebreds, and they're very versatile horses. So a lot of times we like to go, to those breed only shows just so we can show how many different things they can do. It's a really kind of neat that they host that.
Did this start when you were a small girl?
Mm-hmm. It did.
So mom and dad were into it, or they would take you someplace and have riding lessons, or what? Yeah.
They took me over to a big breeding barn that was a family friend of theirs, but neither of them had grown up. They grew up riding around the farm, but nothing too serious. So they tell me that when I started talking, that's the first thing I had to say was that I was going to ride horses. And
you want to ride a horse?
Yeah.
And it came true.
Yeah.
All right. And one of the interesting things that you and I have talked about is how you, and these are going to be my words, not yours, but you use horses in ministry.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Help me understand that.
Yeah. Well, horses, they're very unique animals in that they simultaneously teach us how to be stronger, and they teach us how to be humble at the same time, which is something I don't know that you really experience, working with, different kinds of animals, but horses in particular, they really have a way of making you take a step back and realize that there's something greater than you, greater than, whatever struggles you're going through. And part of that is recognizing that God created these creatures that are absolutely, amazing and how much they can teach us.
You also, you and I had a conversation a little bit about healing.
Yeah.
How horses have the ability when someone is sick or someone is injured that they don't literally heal them, but they heal their heart. They do.
I think they have a way really of centering us. They really, horses are just, they're very special animals. And, I've seen even just being normal, life stresses that sometimes, just get you down. I've seen someone just walk into the barn door and just feel, a sigh of relief just from all of the peace that they bring, and we have different students that struggle, every day with ADHD or autism, and they come out to see the horses and they might struggle, it might be a challenge for them to be able to, at least settle down enough to realize, that they can work with these animals that are 1,000, to 1,200 pounds bigger than they are, and once they can get through that and really work through it, then they feel, they feel a lot stronger afterwards.
So when a child with Down syndrome comes out to your farm, to Bergman Riding, and you teach them how to ride a horse, that must bring great joy.
It is absolutely, it is the most inspiring thing I think I've ever seen in my life is to watch these children that struggle, and with just daily things, be able to, experience just how amazing horses are. And it's hard to put it into words because it's just so spectacular. And that you're not the one doing it. It's all the horse, whatever horse it is, we match each child up with a horse that is unique, to them and to what they are going through.
So okay, I don't really understand that. So horses have different characteristics?
Very different.
Really?
Very different. Yes. Yeah.
Does that surprise you? That surprises me.
Well, they're animals. I mean, just like, you with dogs. I mean, different dogs are different ways. Cats are different ways. Horses are much like that. I mean, they're animals, right? So they've got personalities.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Really?
Some like me, some don't. And they just look at me. And some will kick me and some will let me move. Yeah. If you're going to have kids on the back of a horse, it better have a great personality for kids.
Yep, that's absolutely true. And most of them, are really, some of them are kind of funny, because they're very patient, very, very patient with the kids. And then the second, it's just mom or it's just, an adult that's ready to, to work with them. It's a whole different ball game. The horses have a new level of energy that you've never seen, with them around kids. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, not all of them.
Not all of them. No. And it's when you find one, that is that patient with kids, you can't let it go, because that's a really special creature, and we have one horse in particular. We got her when she was very young, and she herself was sick and she had a broken jaw. And we had kids out to the barn, and there was a 3.5-year-old that out of 10 horses we had out in the pasture, she walked straight up to that one and they just melted into this huge hug.
Wow.
And the horse didn't flinch even one muscle, not at a fly, nothing, just stood there and just loved. And it was really special.
Wow. Anna Bergman is my guest. She's with Bergman Riding. Where is that located?
Yeah, out in Waukee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Within the city limits or just out in the country?
About a mile outside of the city limits. So soon to be probably, within the city now with how fast we're growing out there, but really
you guys
close.
are growing.
Yeah.
Well, Waukee and Ankeny, I think were both in the top 10 for growth.
I think so. Yeah.
And when you guys build that, whatever that thing is that's going to connect to the interstate, that whole thing is just going to be incredible.
I know it really is. And it's great. It's great for Waukee, because now we have, so many amenities that we didn't have 15, 20 years ago. It's great, but it's moving very quickly.
Yeah, it is growing. All right. So what Anna does is Anna uses horses for a ministry in helping other people. And when we come back, I want to talk about different horses and how different people are helped through that type of ministry. So Anna, if you'll just hold on, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes after a commercial break.
Sounds good.
I do want to remind you that Seth Walker is he's my guy. I buy a lot and sell a lot of real estate. In fact, I'm in the process of purchasing something now. And I got tired of using somebody else's realtor, or for a while I even got my own license thinking I could do this. It's really a hard job, okay? It's not just walking around and unlocking doors and writing up paperwork. It is a ministry for Seth to be able to serve people in a way that he can with the skills and talents that he has. And his talents and skills, I've seen them many times. And most of all, it's what we would call a bedside manner. He's a kind man. He's a father. He's a husband. He follows Jesus. And he has a kindness within him. Even when, quite frankly, the old Mac comes out a little bit and isn't so kind myself, he remains that steady, level-headed, kind, Jesus-following man. And so if you're thinking about buying or selling any real estate, if you're thinking about maybe down the line you're going to buy a new house or you're going to sell the one you have, if you're thinking about that, I would ask that you interview Seth. Yeah, I said interview. Don't just hire him based on what I say. You talk to him yourself. Sit down at his office or anywhere that he can meet you, and you'll find that one of the reasons you should use Seth Walker is because he truly is a real estate professional. 577-3728. We're coming back right here, live in Mac's World on The Truth.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs.
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us. to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
21 minutes after 4 o'clock, 4:21 in the afternoon, the 19th day of August in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy. Hey, don't forget about Weiss Merkel. They're now offering a free examination of your 401k if in the past 2 years you have rolled it over to a new job. No, wait, I didn't say that right. They'll look at anybody's 401k. What they're really looking for are people who have rolled them over with maybe a change of jobs or something. And a lot of times within 2 years, people don't take a look at them. That's where I got that 2-year number wrong. And fees can change, percentages can change. Sometimes even your portfolio can change and you don't know it. So give them an opportunity to take a look at that portfolio of yours, to take a look at that 401k. It's absolutely free. And why are they doing it? Well, they want to earn your business. You know, no big lie there, huh? Their last name isn't Clinton. So they want to earn your business. And so just give them a call. James and Lauren, Weiss Merkel, 278-4110. All right. My guest today is Anna Bergman, and she's with Burgman Riding. And one of the things that Anna does with her horses is help special needs kids. Is that a fair way of putting that?
Yeah, I think that's a fair way of putting it. Yeah, and and it's kind of, we just let, any family come to us that wants to experience horses in any way. And sometimes that just means, visiting them in the pasture, for a couple hours and being able to be around them. And sometimes that means, really getting into the riding and having it be, like a sport, like any recreational sport would be. Yeah.
Now, you said you give lessons.
Yeah.
To do what?
Mostly to learn how to ride. Part of the lessons that we do is we teach everything from getting the horse, just out of the pasture, bringing them in, getting them ready, cleaned up, checking for cuts, checking for anything, that might have happened to them out in the pasture,
Sure.
And then getting them completely ready, riding, and then getting them completely put away. So that way, they're really building a bond.
Yeah. Frank?
So is it?
By the way, you don't have to talk to Frank. You don't have to pay attention to him. See, Frank is my feral cat. I put some warm milk out one day, and in came Frank, and I've been stuck with him for 3 years now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Frank actually wants to clean stalls. That's what he wants.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
I'll bet you like cats too. So
I do. Yes, we
like feral
welcome.
cats.
We do welcome barn cats. So
Barn cats?
yeah, well, that's what we call.
So now
them,
I
yeah.
assume keeping the horses shoed is quite a battle
It is quite a battle.
because their hooves grow constantly.
Yes. If you have anything, any kind of lead shoe on a horse, you've got to get it taken off and resized probably every 4 to 6 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what the farrier does.
Yep.
That's what your son is, right? He's a farrier.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So a shoe on a horse is only there for 4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah. And most of the time you can reuse the shoe. But if you have a horse that, if they chipped off part of their hoof and you've got to completely, reshape it, then you're probably going to have to get new shoes. So shoes last anywhere. If they really wreck them, out in the pasture, they can last anywhere from, half a year to a full year. But
Okay, I'm confused. I thought you said 4 to 6 weeks.
yeah, you got to get them changed every 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can use the same base of the shoe, but then you've got to trim the foot, and then you've got to re-nail it back on.
When you say trim their foot, do you mean kind of like we trim our toenails or our fingernails?
Yep, yeah, very similar, just a little bit harder.
I would imagine.
Yeah, and the tools are a lot bigger.
A lot bigger, yeah.
It's not two
No.
fingers and a pincher. Just
No.
You don't take the drill and just zzz, and it comes out.
And what's the thing in the center of the hoof? It's the pad.
The frog.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
frog.
the
the
frog.
frog. They
Yeah.
have frogs on their feet. I didn't know
Frogs.
that.
They got to clean the dirt out of those.
Yeah, you got to make sure there aren't any rocks on the frog.
I just got to
Rocks on the frog. You don't want to have that.
You don't want it. It's bad. Yeah.
Where did they come up with the name Frog?
I have no idea, but it's fun because it gets the kids cleaning out their hooves, and they think it's fun because they get a laugh about it. And
clean the frog.
Yeah.
Clean the frog.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point we was making about language last hour is how does things get their names?
Yeah.
Now I've got something to ask my daughter when I get home. Honey, have you ever cleaned the frog? You don't want to get any rocks on the frog. She'll know what I'm talking about. I bet
you think she will?
I bet you she will. I bet you she will. She's up on that stuff, and I don't always. She's always talking over my head.
Why do you think Katie enjoys riding so much?
I don't know, Juan. I mean, you fell in love with horses. I don't know what it is. My wife nor I, neither one of us grew up. We're city people. We never been around horses. They intimidate me. I'm not a small guy. They're big animals, man. I feel like they could take you out if they wanted to. I don't know.
They can and they have.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah. So it blows my mind, though. My daughter, like I said, for the last couple of years, she's just at home with them. She talks to them. One of her favorite places to go is Living History Farm, and we always go and meet the horses, and she talks to them and does all this stuff out there, and she loves going to the farm up in Boone. And I don't know, but she loves animals. She always has, and horses, and
I always enjoy what some people say about the difference between horse bucking bronc riding and bull riding. At least when the horse throws you, it don't come back around to stomp you.
That is true. That's one good thing about a horse. And if you fall off, most of the time they stop. If they run away, they try not to run over you, so at least they're considerate, That's nice. That's nice.
Anna Bergman is my guest today. She's with Burgman Riding, and we're just talking about horses in ministry and working with special needs children and special needs people, and how horses have a sense, don't they, to be able to comfort people. Yeah. Now, I find a lot of comfort in dogs. I'm a dog person. And when you start talking about the different characteristics of a horse and we compare it to a dog, I understand that. Dogs know people and other things by their scent. How do horses know people from other people?
Yeah, part of it is by scent. So they do pick up on certain scents, and part of it is your tone of voice, how you interact with the horses. They get used to having, a certain type of interaction. I mean, we've had, I've read some studies recently that I found, really interesting, that horses, they can tell the difference between someone, even if you're talking in the calmest, most soothing voice that you can, and you are on the inside stressed or worried about something, they pick up on it. So one of the things, that we've kind of been talking about in the horse community is that, when we bring, our whatever's inside of us, when we bring that, to another animal, and this, this goes for other people too, when we're bringing that, and even just being around someone, with that, kind of just always underneath our skin, it affects them. They can read it, and horses certainly can. So, we see some horses pacing or worried and whinnying about something, and chances are, that came from somewhere else. That maybe somebody was, interacting with them, and they were really stressed that day, and that made the horse worried. So you can see that. Yeah.
Is it true? I've heard, I think, things like this, that horses sense like natural disasters such as earthquakes and stuff. They get really antsy, prancy.
Yes.
Tornadoes, things of that nature, they sense them farther off than humans do.
Yes, that's very true. And that's something we did. So we boarded our horses for about 15 years. And when we brought them out to the acreage, that's when we really, started learning about that, because even the horses that had lived in the stalls, for those 15 years, when there was something, a storm about to come, or if there was, even when they're harvesting out in the field, and they're worried because they can smell, the different chemicals and things in the air, then you'll see them out there and they just pace, or they stop and stare, for hours at a time. They're just they don't relax when something's coming. So you can definitely tell.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you always, I know this is going to sound silly, but I was a Bonanza fan, the show Bonanza.
Yeah.
And of course you can still watch it now on MeTV or OTV or one of those channels. Yep. But there were instances where something would be going on outside and the horses would be kind of like the doorbell or the burglar alarm or whatever you want to call it. And the horses could somehow sense that trouble was coming.
Yeah. Yep.
How do they do that? I don't know, probably.
I don't know. I don't know, honestly. But it's very interesting, to see how perceptive they actually are, because we've had even just wild animals, coyotes are out, in Waukee, out west of Waukee. And before you hear them, the horses tell you when they're close, they run up to the gate and they stare at you like, Mom, this is a problem. Please fix it. And,
really?
And you don't know what it is, but you just know something's going on, so then by the time you figure it out,
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. We only have you for just a couple more minutes, and I sure appreciate you coming in today. Tell me, you don't have to use anybody's name, but tell me about a student or a child that has really been impacted through the ministry of working with your horses.
Yeah. I think there's one of my students that I've been working with now for almost 5 years now. And when she started, she's the youngest and struggled with some learning issues at school. So she was always always you could tell felt like she was behind, always, being pushed, down a little bit, and a very happy girl, but you could tell always something bothering her. And she started working with this tiny pony that we have. And this pony is just meaner than anything to anybody that's bigger than her. But to this little girl, she was her whole world, and she'd do anything she'd ask her to. And they fought like sisters, and they loved like sisters, and they just...
Hold on. How does a horse fight?
Well, when they're real mad, they'll let you know. They'll try and kick you, or they might buck you off, and...
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't they throw their head and neck around too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Slap their tail.
Yeah. Yeah. The first sign is when you see their ears start to go back. Then you know they're not in a great mood. Probably.
Is that...
Yeah.
Is that her?
No, so that's my niece, actually, but that's the pony.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is if you're watching it on a webcast. We are showing some pictures, but that's the little pony. What's the pony's name?
Honey.
Honey.
Yeah.
So all your horses are named just like all your dogs would be named?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. And you have how many?
10.
10. Well, I sure appreciate you coming in today and sharing this with us. And thank you for your ministry. And maybe you can take Katie out there and be a quicker, shorter drive than going clear to Boone.
Yeah, it would be fun to go visit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anna Bergman Writing. Is there a website?
Yeah, we have a website. It's being redone right now.
Okay.
But it's bergmanwriting.hop2.org, and then our older one is bergmanwriting.weebly.com.
.weebly?
Weebly.
That was the old one, though.
Yeah,
but you said it's
old.
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty outdated.
Okay.
It's .hop2?
.hop2.org.
.hop2.org.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in today. I appreciate it. I was just kind of a random call that I made. I didn't meet Anna until today. I saw on Facebook that you had these things, and I messaged you, and you were kind enough to answer back, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, very much. Thank you very much for coming. Oh, wait. So can you, sick the horse on somebody that you don't like?
Well, they're not aggressive animals, so you'd have to they'd have to really get mad at that person first, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're taking a break, and then we're coming back. We're live here on The Truth. Yep, I told you, it's The Truth. 99.3 FM, powered by webcast1live.com.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Homs,
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting.
Work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
4:38, 22 minutes before the top of the hour, and Salem Radio Network News. And then, oh my, Hank, the Bible Answer Man. And your calls are welcome at 1-888-ASK-HANK. All right, I thought we'd end up Friday with some Bible study in Isaiah 61, because it's one of my favorite chapters in probably the entire 66 books. If I had to pick my favorite, it would probably be, Romans 8 would be my all-time favorite. But Isaiah 61 is one of my favorites, too. And so, guys, get your Bibles out. Frank, where's your Bible?
I'm reading it.
Oh, you're online here? All right. And you got yours on your phone?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to read a little bit of 61, and then we're going to get to a point that I'm going to ask a question about something. So again, and I'm reading out of the my study Bible here at work is the NLT, red letter edition, and of course, big letters for a guy like me. Good news for the oppressed. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, for the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to comfort the brokenhearted and to proclaim that the captives will be released and prisoners will be freed. That is one of my favorite Bible verses of all. I would tell you it's probably, I don't know if it's one of my life verses, but it certainly is one of my favorites. Now, in the NLT, it's different than I have memorized it, and that is that Jesus has come to comfort the brokenhearted and to set the captives free. So let's talk for a minute about who are the brokenhearted. If Jesus comes to heal the brokenhearted, who are the brokenhearted?
Those trapped in the bondage of sin.
So the healed are the ones that are trapped in
bondage.
Then who
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think you're hearing the question, Frank. Are the healed? Who are the healed?
You're telling me that the healed are sinning?
I thought you was asking me who the brokenhearted were.
Right, yeah.
Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, try that again. Ready, reset. Jeb, can you rewind the tape? We'll start that one over again.
Jesus came to heal the brokenhearted and set the captives free. So who are the brokenhearted?
Guys like me.
What does that mean?
Well, people who have been family relationships, friends relationships that have been broken up because of choices you've made in life. Anybody that's brokenhearted, someone's died, a family member's died, you've been separated from someone you love. People who are down and broke in sin, people who have diseases, sicknesses, the lepers. The lepers were certainly brokenhearted.
All right, now hold on, though. So are the brokenhearted followers of Jesus?
I would say the brokenhearted is mankind.
All right, so that could be anybody.
That could be anybody.
Chris, you agree?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so who are the captives then?
The captives who are in captivity to Satan, captives who are in captive to slave owners. I mean, slave owning was prevalent all through the Old Testament. When a warring nation went in and conquered another nation, generally captives were taken. Daniel, in fact, was a captive of Nebuchadnezzar, who overthrew Jerusalem in about 605 BC. And 50 to 70 of the men were taken captive. They were young men. They were good-looking. They were well-mannered. They were intelligent. And they were going to be servants of the king. So always there's been captives all through the Bible. You can be captive, physically captive, and you can be captive to sin.
So could a captive be a follower of Jesus?
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree. I'm going to tell you what I heard on our radio station the other day. In fact, one of the...
Oh, great. Now I'm going to have to argue with one of our preachers.
Well,
and Mac.
Let's argue with Captain Hank.
Anyway,
what this gentleman said, I think it was David Jeremiah. Is he on at 9 in the morning?
No, 9 would be...
Lutzer?
9 is Greg Laurie.
Okay, I think it was Greg Laurie then.
Yeah,
all right.
Okay.
Greg Laurie said that in this verse that Jesus came to heal the brokenhearted and set the captives free, that the brokenhearted are the ones who are following Jesus. They're Christians. But like you said, Frank, we're brokenhearted because of the horrible stuff that this world delivers to us. And captives are people who are not following Christ and are being held captive by the accuser, by Satan, the devil, whatever you want to say. And I just thought that was interesting when I heard that brokenhearted people are people who have decided to follow Jesus, and the world comes along and screws them up. And the captives are the people who are being held captive by the accuser.
Oh, I see the I see the distinction there. Then, yeah, I would have put myself in the occasionally captive place, because I feel at times, and many of us probably do, that we can't get free from certain things, that we can't get out of it. You know, we feel like we're in a situation that we just feel stuck in.
But we're in bondage to first and foremost, we're in bondage to our own flesh, and right. God is come to restore our mind and restore our heart, but we're still in this body of flesh that is constantly at war with Christ. So we are supposed to die to flesh daily, but you know, I think a brokenhearted person could be a sinful person in bondage to Satan. I don't think it's an and or. I think it can be both. I think you know, you can be a Christian and be in captivity to your diet. You know, because you're at war with this flesh, or you could be in captivity to lust. You could be trying to follow Christ, but you just can't shun these lustful things.
And then the brokenhearted and the captives could be the same people.
I believe so. I believe they could be interchangeable.
So then why do you think Isaiah wrote that Jesus came to heal the brokenhearted and set the captives free?
I think it's just a way of being repetitive and making a point, but using other words to make the same point.
You got any thoughts on this, Robert?
Yeah, I can go either way.
You think so?
Sure.
So Greg Laurie was right.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not exclusive.
Yeah.
There are many ways to look at that diamond.
Many ways. All right. So I want to read on if I can.
Well, the great thing is though, it's good news. I mean, who doesn't feel at times either to be either one or both of those things, right? Any of us have felt at times captive to something we can't get out of, or brokenhearted, right? But the good news is that Jesus came to set us free from those things. So, I mean, that's important. That's the important thing.
Prior to both of those things, it says to preach good tidings to the poor.
Right.
Anyone who is without Christ is poor.
Yeah.
Then you can be physically poor I don't have much money. I can be in poor health. I can be poor, brokenhearted, and downtrodden. I can have the trifecta of misery.
Yeah.
All right, so it continues on in verse 2. It says, "He has sent me to tell those who mourn that the time of the Lord's favor has come." What are they mourning? Does that mean mourning the death of something or someone?
Well, we are all mourning without Christ in our life. We're all mourning without the good news of salvation, without the good news of the Messiah. There's no hope for any of us. So we're all mourning. We could be mourning different things. We could be mourning the death of loved ones. We could be mourning our poverty. We can be mourning all kinds of things. It's anyone that's mourning of anything, in my opinion.
Okay.
Well, and again, we talked about this with the floods in Louisiana, right? One of the things that we don't do really well as human beings anymore is we don't mourn and we don't grieve anymore. We've come up with elaborate systems to try to shut those feelings down. But the good news is that God is with us when we mourn and that we grieve and that those feelings are okay, that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to experience loss and know that God isn't far from us at those times.
Isaiah, in fact, the prophet, Ezekiel was, I think, called the weeping prophet. Isaiah was weeping and mourning. All the prophets wept and mourned for their people who was in bondage and in sin and without Christ.
Okay, we're going to finish up this hour moving through 61. We're obviously not going to get done with it because we're just going to take it verse by verse and unpack it. Feel free to call in and help us if you want. 244-0077, live here on The Truth.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids? Yeah!
If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rock and Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rock and Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common, everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
4:50, 10 before the top. Salem Radio Network News at the top, and then Hank, the Bible Answer Man at 1-888-ASK-HANK. If you want to get on with Hank, I'd suggest calling now. Usually it takes a little while to get in. Fridays are a little lighter, though, because I don't know why Fridays are a little lighter. When I listen to him on Fridays going home, it just doesn't seem like he's got as many calls. He's been Hank can pontificate if he wants to.
Yeah, a little bit.
If he gets upset about something, especially in the news, man, he'll just go off big time. Hey, I also want to give a shout out to my friend Jan Michelson, who returned to the airwaves out at the fair today from 11 to 11:30. And he's going to do that 1/2 hour every day and try to do that if he can. So shout out to my brother, Jan Michelson. All right. We're reading through Isaiah 61, and in typical Mac fashion, we're going deep rather than fast. I heard it said the other day. Who said this? Did somebody say this on the radio? Comparing Bible studying to water skiing and scuba diving.
Yes, that was somebody.
It was a
young lady.
Oh, I knew who it was. Yeah, it was the young lady. It was Alicia. Yes. Anyway, she compared Bible studying. You either are a water skier or you're a scuba diver. Right. And a water skier just zips right across the lake. Just zips. Just ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And, of course, a scuba diver goes deep and goes all the way to the ground, the bottom of the ocean, where all the fish are and the life are and the colors are and there's so much wonderful stuff down there. And that's the way I kind of look at Bible studying, too, because I don't like to go across the top of the water. I have no desire to do that. That's just like speed reading.
I used to be a scuba diver.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
For the state or the
No, I did it in college, and I took a marine biology course down in Florida.
Wow.
John Pennekamp State Park, underwater park.
Why don't you scuba dive anymore?
Not much to see. It's kind of black around here. But if you're down there in Florida, it's really clear. You see the coral reefs. You see all of the fish and everything. It's great.
All the sharks.
Moray eels, shark, barracuda.
Mm.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. All right, we've got somebody on the line. Hi, you're live in Mac's World. Who's this?
Yeah, Mac, this is Chaplin Gary Moon calling.
Hey, Chaplin Gary Moon, how are you?
Well, pretty good, brother. Well, I'll tell you, I've got several things here I wanted to mention. I have a gift for you. It's on spiritual warfare from Tony Evans.
Oh, I love Tony Evans.
Yeah, and I'm going to try and get it in there. I need to come into the studio. My health is failing a lot. I have a hernia, hiatal hernia, and I've lost a lot of weight, and they can't operate, Max. So I'm going to try and come in, and then I want to see about advertising on your radio, too, for guitar lessons. I need to maybe stop in and give you the book here soon. And
sure, or I'm more than happy to stop by your studio. I mean, I'm right over there all the time.
Well, yeah. Do you own a business close by where I work, do you, Mac, where I can stop in? Sometimes I'm in early.
Well, we'll figure this out, Gary. Leave your phone number with Jeb so I can get a hold of you, and we'll figure that out, okay?
Yeah, okay, Mac. Yeah. I'd like to have you this book, and you might pray for my health. It is just, I've lost 50 pounds, Mac, and it's even hard for me to get around. I went from 190 down to about 140.
Wow.
And they can't operate.
Well, I tell you what, Gary, let's just pray for you right now on the radio, can we?
Yes, Mac. I appreciate it.
Are you okay with that? Hey, Papa?
Yeah.
Papa, we thank you for this incredible man, Chaplain Gary Moon, who's been such a good friend to me and such a wise man with his knowledge of you, and the relationship that he has with you is just it's something to really respect, Lord. And we just thank you how you've loved Gary and you've brought him through his life, and now he's not doing so well, Lord. And we just wish you'd just take your arms of angels, just to surround him with those arms of angels, and let him know that you're there, and you're going to heal him in this lifetime, or you're going to heal him in the next. But either way, let him know and have comfort in his heart that you are with him and that you love him and that you're going to care for him for all the rest of his days. We ask this in the name of your sweet son, Jesus, who we just love so much. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Well, thank you, Brother Mac. I appreciate that. Yeah, and you can stop over, and I got the book with me in the car, and I wanted to stop down and talk to Chris about advertising for guitar lessons on your radio station.
Well, whatever you want to do. If you want to come by up here, that's fine, or I'll stop by. Heck, we could do both, Gary. Whatever works best for you, okay?
Yeah, you're usually in the studio by around 2 o'clock?
Yep, I'm in the studio guaranteed by 1:30 or 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And I come in mornings a little bit more than I used to because Chris needs hugs. So I come running in and give him a big bear hug, and then I get caught on the computer, and before I know it, he's asking me to buy him lunch, and then we go to some place and I put weight on, and Gary, it's just horrible,
Well, tell Frank and Bob hi for me. I'll give them a call one of these days, and you might mention to Frank that Jeremiah was a weeping prophet.
Yeah, right.
Jeremiah was the weeping prophet.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Gary. He's smarter than you.
No.
Well, I knew somebody was a weeping prophet, and most of all of them were weeping for Israel.
Well, they were, yeah. Okay, guys. Well, good talking to you, all of you, and Chris, and I'll stop in, and maybe we can get a little advertisement on the radio there.
All right, Gary. God bless you.
God bless you guys too. I pray for all of you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
That's too bad to hear about that. He's such a good man. He has helped countless number of people in his life. Amazing guitar player.
One of the things he done when he worked at Broad Lawns is worked with burn victims. And, if there's any kind of brokenhearted, downtrodden, poor, disheartened individual in this life, it would be someone who's experiencing, recovery from burns, severe burns. And, I would imagine Gary's given him a lot of hope over the years, praying with him and talking to him about the eternal kingdom, and not so much focusing on the temporal, but looking forward to the eternal life in heaven with Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's a good egg. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for us on a Friday. We sure do appreciate you spending some time with us today, especially the silliness of part of the first hour when we started talking about words that are unacceptable in the community. And, that's what you're going to get on this show sometimes. Sometimes we're going to, all in 1 hour, we talked about ministry with horses. We talked about the government and how they're just destroying our lives. And then we talked about Isaiah 61, and then we have a brother call up who needed prayer. So that's what it's like to be in Mac's world. And I sure thank you for being here today. I love my job, and I couldn't do it without you. You know what I'm going to say next? I'm going to say it every day. Forgive the person that you're holding that resentment and grudge on. Because when you get to heaven, God will forgive you the way you forgave others. I love you. See you at Hope.